The 2015 film, Andreas, this movie, it's not that great to be honest. And quite frankly, for a disaster film, I felt like this one could have turned out to be so much better. Well, I have to say, this one does itself no favors. In other words, this film, it tries too much, and when it comes down to it, it ends up becoming mediocre. So, the story of this one, it takes place in California. The San Andreas fault line is beginning to crumble after a 7.1 earthquake happens in the beginning of this movie. And so, a helicopter rescue pilot, Raymond Gaines, he and his ex-wife Emma, they travel to Los Angeles in order to save their daughter. And from there, it's a movie that has a whole list of problems. And to be honest, going back to rewatch this one, I remember how boring this film really is. Sure, it has its entertaining moments here and there, but overall, I think this movie's pretty awful. And quite frankly, the story isn't really great either. Like, I'm not expecting it to be Oscar worthy, but if it was written a little bit better, then maybe I would care about the overall tone and the characters themselves. Overall, though, this film could have ended up being special, but it turned out into one of the most disappointing movies of 2015. Now, what I think about the acting in this one, to be honest, it's not that great, with two exceptions. Dwayne Johnson, he did a decent job playing his character. He's going to save his daughter in this helicopter. And I will say that also Paul Giamatti, he did a decent job as well, but I want that actor to be in this film a little bit more. I felt like he was underused. Now, the negatives, when it comes down to that, like Carla Gugino, her acting wasn't that great to be honest. Don't get me wrong, she is a good actress. I've seen her in a lot of movies throughout the years, but in this one, she kind of phones it in. Her character is not interesting whatsoever, and she's only there just to go get her daughter, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this movie? I guess it's a disaster film, but still. And another issue I had with this film was the acting from Alessandra Daddario. Like, really, her character is only a subplot to be rescued later on in this film. And I was saying, I don't care for this. And then, to make matters worse, these two brothers show up, and I was like, they're just side characters, and there's a reason why they're there. But overall, I was saying, this film, it dropped the ball big time. One thing that I wanted to note is that the disaster movie, The Day After Tomorrow, I had enjoyed that much more throughout the years than I did with this. Only because that film actually get into the science of it. And not just that, but when it comes down to it, I think that is an overall better disaster film than this one is. When it comes down to it, I just didn't care a whole lot about this film. I did like it more when I was younger, but looking at it now, I'm saying like this film, it could end up being so much better. I'm giving this film a 5 out of 10. This disaster movie offers nothing more than shallow entertainment, and for some people that's a good thing, but for me personally, I want a little bit something more from this one. And to be honest, in my opinion, this is one of the weaker movies in Dwayne Johnson's career. And honestly, I believe he has been in better movies than this. Overall, though, if you haven't seen this movie, you can check it out, but don't expect a whole lot from this one. And that is my review of the film San Andreas. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.